the biggest thing we wanted to show you is kind of what a setup would look like for Eyeline. So I put it into more of a difficult eyeline shot, which is a OTS dirty from behind. Some people call them French overs. They're really fun. I really like to use them. So, I mean, imagine we're at a park bench. We're on the wrong side of the line for our demo, for one of our main cameras right here, for our talking camera. But we're going to cut to this camera. So this is Haley's coverage. She's looking at me because the camera's not there.
I was looking at the camera. So, you put your face here, and then your eye here.
Yeah. So Seth, who is our operator on our demo camera, how does that look for Eyeline? Does that look real?
Yeah.
Does it look like she's having a conversation with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So, hey, can you point on me where you're looking?
I am looking right into your eye that is on the side of the camera.
Can you look to the other eye? Great. And now back. And can you move with your head? Yeah. So that's such a difference, and all that's happening is you are looking at a different eye. And so when we talk about playing to camera, we talk about this inner eye, outer eye. This is what you would do, right? Mm-hmm. So what feels natural, though?
So it feels natural to be like this.
So Seth, by her acting more naturally to how she would sit into something when having a conversation with a friend, how does this appear compared to the other one?
It looks further from camera, a bit like she's looking to the side of you.
Okay. But that's the most natural, right?
Yeah, this is what I would do if I were in a play.
Yeah. So that's kind of an example of how much a little change in where you are looking affects your audience. Because if you want to be the character in a sitcom that is always with the audience, always gets the laughs, always feels the most connected, this is what we want. However, if you were in a drama that you are the shady character,
it's not going to be so close to cameras.
Yeah.
Close it off a little.
You can close it off a little. And those are like the little things that you might not think about from a technical standpoint. You would know that about your character. You would know that like that's who they are. But when we apply the technical, how exactly are we going to incorporate that? And this is one of those nice cheats that you will also have to have this conversation with your director, because maybe your director wants to like invert it, you know. So it's just a conversation as always, but knowing that these tools are available is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, and it's not always going to feel natural and truthful at first.
Yeah.
But it is going to look good, and you know that because you've communicated with your camera op about it.
Yeah. So let's switch to the other side so we can see how it cuts together.
Great.
Okay, so we've flipped our world. We're on my coverage now, on this park bench. Something to also note that you might be able to notice from there, but probably not, is that we've cheated our chairs so that she's more in my frame. And, you know, that's going to have to happen a lot. It's not ever going to be that we're like sitting next to each other, because then we'll block each other. So a lot of the time we'll have to cheat our positioning just for your coverage compared to a wide. So here I am having a conversation with Hay, and I am not an actor, so I normally have to look at a monitor. So I'm going to try this outside eye situation. So Seth is behind our camera at the moment. He is our operator. You can see his hand in our wide there. So Seth, tell me the closeness level on a scale of 5, 1 to 5, 5 being the closest, as I move my eye line. Okay? Here's first one.
I'd say that's 2,
Okay?
3, a 4.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So 2 started actually on her temple here. I jumped to this eye, and then I went to like her hair. Obviously 5 would be this, right?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because for me as an actor, I can't imagine having to like perform and look at someone's temple. But if it makes sense, if that's what your director wants, at least you know why they are asking you to look there. Because there's a huge difference for having to still concentrate on acting while looking at someone's temple, wanting to go to their eyes, but like, you know. And another note is like being strict to that, because if I suddenly go from like here during the take and then at the end of the take I look up and I'm there, that's a completely different look, right, Seth?
Absolutely.
So the biggest thing here is like, is that something I want to do as an actor? Do I want to feel closer to them at the end of the take? Because that's another fun thing I could do. I could have an entire conversation that it starts from like me sitting in that they cut on. We're having a serious conversation. I'm playing a little further from the lens. And then, okay, she finally confesses her love for me. I look down, and then I'm finally back up, and we're suddenly just like a little bit closer. And that could be something you play with. That could be something you suggest with your director. It's having so much fun by understanding the technical that allows the creative to drive itself home. And that's just something that we will try and continue to perfect, I would imagine, as actors, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, understand and then perfect and be able to play with. It's so much fun to know that you can feel closer and more honest by just moving your eye line to a different eye.
Yeah. And I think I want to reiterate one more time how important it is to have those conversations with people on set, your operator, your DP, your director. We want to be there for that. We have a lot of fun. This is the art in it, right? Like, we are used to the technical, we're used to the creative on our end, but like to involve performance and to involve actors makes the story better, and we're able to tell it in a truer way. And so having that conversation is going to be really important. Like, hey, does my eye line, like knowing my camera's here, that's A-cam, knowing my camera's here and it's my coverage, I can ask my director, I say, hey, does this look good? Or like, should I do this? Like, do I want to feel closer? Hey, by the end, should I be here? So it's like really figuring out what that looks like is going to be a vital part of, and communicating that is going to be a huge part of the process.
Yeah, it's way more fun to have an actor who wants to be collaborative and who understands the rules than to just have an actor who's basically a talking prop, right?
Yeah, I mean, and just having that conversation about closeness and where we are at the story is going to be really fun. So, yeah, Eyeline's a really, really